welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. We are back. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. Today we're here for another episode of Instagram comic book deals. If you guys aren't familiar with what I do in this video, I scroll through Instagram like I always do, looking for books that I think are undervalued or underpriced, and I share them with you guys here in YouTube. But before we get started into the video, guys, like always, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and click the subscribe button for me, smash that like button, and turn on the notification bell. I have one other announcement for you guys. My channel memberships are about to change for the better, in my opinion. I'm going to be announcing some new awesome channel membership guidelines and stuff that I'm going to be doing for members of the YouTube channel. With that said, guys, we're going to jump in here at the Instagram deals that I found for this week. Now, a little bit of caution I'm going to throw to the wind. We all heard what happened to our good buddy Swaggelhaus over at his channel. He got swindled out of some books that he traded for. I want to remind you guys that only buy from reputable sellers on Instagram. There are a lot of fake accounts out there, so if you're not familiar with the person that you're buying from, do yourself a favor, stay away. But anything that I recommend here on this channel is because I know the seller and I think that, you know, what they do is great. So I mainly recommend from Elite Comics 11, Diamond Comic Club, and of course Grail's Comics. If I know another seller out there that I think is trustworthy, that I've bought from or sold to, I will always recommend their stuff if they have good books for sale. But we're going to start at the first comic that I found, what I thought was absolutely a phenomenal deal. So everyone out there community knows I'm a huge He-Man and Masters of the Universe fan. So the number one book that I found this week that I'd be buying is a copy of DC Comics Presents issue number 47 and the first appearance of He-Man in comics. Now I found this book over at Elite Comics 11 and they're asking only $275 for the CGC 9.0, and I think actually this is a great book. This book really spiked about a year and a half ago when everything went nuts regarding to the 80s, right? I think all the Transformers books went up, Thundercats, Voltron, all those books were really selling for way more than what they were worth. But now I think they've dropped down so much that I think they're actually in a good spot, especially for this book, because there are rumors out there that Netflix is going to be starting shooting a live action He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie starting in April. They've already cast Prince Adam or He-Man, so hopefully they stick to that schedule, because I am just dying to see a proper movie made about He-Man and Skeletor and all his henchmen and bring Eternia to the big screen, or the small screen in this case. But either way, I think a CGC 9.0 is a great grade to kind of buy this one at. And right now, if you look at the last sale was $375 in September, and Elite is only asking $275. So to me, you're getting a $100 discount, which is almost like a 25% discount in this case. To me, I think this is a great buy with that movie on the horizon. Any type of pictures or video or any type of leak that we get coming out about this movie, this book is probably going to go higher. So I think this is a great one to pick up right now, and I think this one is a great price. At number 2 on this list is a copy of Fantastic Four number 5 and a CGC 1.8. Now, I've used them recently to pick up a book, and I've used them recently to sell a book, so I'm very familiar with what they do on Instagram. Right now, they're asking for this book $5,749, which to me, I don't think is a bad price considering it's a 1.8 Fantastic Four number 5. But we always go to the numbers and we check what the last sale was. The last sale at this grade, unfortunately, wasn't since March of earlier this year, and that sale was at $5,600. So prices have come down right now, so I think that you could probably get a better deal on this one. It has been sitting around for a couple of weeks. I know a lot of Fantastic Four number 5s have sold recently on Instagram, so keep that in mind. If I were you guys and you wanted to own a copy of this book, I'd probably offer around $5,000 and then kind of settle somewhere in the middle. I think that they have to be motivated at this point to move this book, and I think a 1.8 is a great grade to own this one. So definitely a book that I think is sitting right now that somebody's going to come in and swoop on. The next one on this list is a copy of Giant Size X-Men number 1, and this one's at a CGC 4.5. This one is sitting also on Diamond Comic Club and can be had for a decent price of $2,499. Now, when we talk about this book, the first thing I always mention are the colors. It seems it's very hard to find this book in great vibrant colors. Every time I've seen this book, it's always a little faded or a lot faded, or the spine's messed up because it is a square bound book. But regardless, when you look at a copy of this one that they have for sale here, 4.5 isn't the greatest grade, but I gotta be honest with you, if you look at the colors on this book, they're absolutely phenomenal for the grade point, and that's really what I want in this book. If you guys are not familiar, I bought myself a raw copy maybe about a year and a half ago that the colors were absolutely freaking phenomenal on it. I just couldn't pass up the offer. So I purchased that book, sent it into CGC. It came back a 7.0 white pager, and it was well worth it. Again, the colors on this book really pop, and that's really what I'm looking for. So we're going to go to the numbers like we always do to check out what the last sale was. And of course, the last sale was right at what they're asking, $2,500 in this month, October. So again, use this to your advantage. If you can get this book for a couple $100s off that, that's really what I think it's worth. It's fair. But again, when I see a book with such vibrant colors on a giant size X-Men 1, I always want to pounce. A lot of people will say for the Bronze Age comics, you kind of want to stick to the higher grades, and I agree with them, but I got to be honest, because this book is so rare with great colors and because it's square bound, I think you're okay to buy it in lower grades, and I think this one is a pretty good deal. And the last book I found for you guys was a copy of Werewolf by Night number 32 in a CGC 4.0. Now, I found this one on Elite Comics 11. It's also been sitting for a little bit, and I can only assume because it is not a higher grade copy of this book. A lot of people out there who collect Bronze Age books, they want them in higher grades, like I just said with the giant size X-Men 1. But for anyone out there who can't go out and spend a ton of money on this book and wants one in the collection, I think this one is pretty well fairly priced. They're asking $799 for this book, but the last sale was just this month for $899. So you're getting a $100 discount right off the bat. But you know me, I'm never going to go in and pay full price for anything. I'm always going to try to haggle and try to get a deal. So if you can offer $700 or even $650 and kind of get it around that price, maybe $700 is probably the sweet spot. I think this book is probably a decent bet, especially if you guys want to own a first appearance of a major character. Now, for anybody out there who says they're not going to use Moon Knight correctly going forward, you may be right, but they're coming back with a season 2, 100%, and then of course we're probably going to get him in some kind of a team-up movie. They're probably not going to give him his own movie after the show kind of flopped the first season. Hopefully they can get going in season number 2 and do a better job of what people want to see. But regardless, I think this character is going to stay around for a little bit, and then we'll kind of see where this book is going. But again, if you feel comfortable with this prices right now, I think this one's a pretty decent option. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoy this one. What I do in this video, I try to bring to light some of the deals that still can be had out there in the community. Again, buy from reputable sellers always, because you never want to get stuck in a place where you don't want to be. But regardless, some of these books out there are sitting, they're underpriced, they're undervalued, and can be had for even better prices than they're listed for, so keep that in mind. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.